We got the first big Assassin's Creed Shadows update with some nice quality of life features, bug fixes, PS5 Pro Enhancements, and way more. Shout out to Ubisoft for sponsoring this first. Patch breakdown helps me maintain my team of full-time employees, so check the game out via the link in the video description. Yes, one amazing quality of life feature they added is the fact that we can now tag items and then sell them all in one go. It still takes quite long to tag everything, but you can of course sell your gray, green, blue items. Most purple items too, although I would keep the ones with the highlighted stats, especially if they have a great perk on them too. This of course means that they have a 10% higher stat value than similar items on the same level, so they can be pretty useful. Boom, I now sold quite a lot of my items, got some nice money, and by the way, first you could not sell your trinkets, but now if you scroll all the way down, you can find them and sell them in bulk as well. Maybe you got this too, but when I got into the game, I got the Bakeneko cat that I think is a reward for maybe the yokai targets that first did not drop, but your take of course more than welcome in the comments. You can only put one of them in your hideout, but it's pretty cute. And yes, the hideout is now 60 FPS if you play in the performance mode on PS5 or Xbox Series X. No more capped 30, which actually makes me excited to finally build more. If you press the touchpad or select on Xbox, you open up the map. If you press the options or start button, you go into your inventory. But new is that if you hold the options button, you now immediately open up your objective board. So we got a nice new shortcut. We also got some new traversal additions, because first it was faster to run with Naue in a city than to ride on horseback, because you would be significantly slowed down of course. But now after the update you can ride way faster in these towns and villages. It's not the same as if you would like ride outside of a city, but still it's way faster. We recorded the same road with Yasuke before and after the patch, and we are 40 seconds faster after the update, which is kinda wild. Like overall pretty big that they actually change this, because slowing down in an urban environment was always a thing in the previous games, but maybe because they ditched the PS4 and Xbox One with shadows, they can now actually make the mounts faster. I'm at least happy with the change. And talking about the most recent games, they're also bringing back a feature from those, the hands-free riding. So basically now when you select an objective, you can still have the Pathfinder guide you there, but also select follow road. Now the game will take over the controls and you can put down the controller for a bit. I actually don't mind that this was not a feature at launch. Having to ride myself totally helped me immerse myself more, but now after release, this is great, especially when focusing on the contracts, so you can make that farming process a bit nicer. Oh, and by the way, first the Pathfinder line would still appear in the photo mode, but now after the update, while on horseback or while running, the line instantly disappears when you enter the photo mode. So first, you could of course only remove a full mastery tree, but now Ubisoft added the option to remove individual nodes as well, so you can way more easily redirect points. And of course, if you remove a skill, then the connected nodes will be refunded as well. And they also fixed a lot of perks and abilities to actually make them more useful. Like the staggering blast, the Yumibo ability should push back enemies as well, but first, before the update, it would not do it. It would only deal damage and apply the daze effect if you had some upgrades for the ability. But now after the update, enemies do fly away when you use the ability. You can get the Daybreak's Fury Cannonbow from a main story target, and while the perk always sounded awesome, breaking armor spreads shrapnel dealing 80% damage, it before the update never worked. Well, now it does. You see a very clear explosive-like effect, but yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage. It does stagger enemies, so it's great in groups, although far from amazing from the limited testing we did so far. And yes, you already saw it, but they fixed the perk for the Toolmaster gear chest. Got way more things to go over. Of course, if you liked the video so far, leave a like and subscribe to be up to date on everything Assassin's Creed Shadows. So yes, with this equipped, you throw a kunai to the closest enemy after an assassination. First, it would not always trigger even when enemies were very close to each other, but now it always works, and it's kind of insane because the range for this is wild. Again, in my testing so far, it always worked. Also, during smoke bombs, you can just easily take out an extra target, even if that one was not cut by the smoke. The damage of the perk is, by the way, based on your kunai damage, even though it does not cost you a kunai to do this perk. So I would say bring it back into your playstyle if you were not using it because of the issues. And you can actually combine it really well with the bell now, and they improved the enemy's reaction to this tool. So far so good. First, enemies would not always respond when you would throw it down. We also tested enemies' reactions to breaking an alarm bell, and before the update, surrounding soldiers would not really care and not even react. But now after the patch, I'm in the same location, I drop the bell, and immediately someone goes and investigates. More stealth fixes are for the double assassinations to make them work better, so if you had issues, they should be addressed. And I remember this for myself as well, but you could first do this skill without learning it, but that should now be fixed. I'm sure that you one time assassinated a target and they would not die and just get back up. Well, this issue should finally be addressed. Same for when doing a ground strike, enemies could get up really quickly, this should also be fixed, or when enemies could get stuck. Although I'm sure we've not seen the last of this. And by the way, if you noticed any secret changes with the update, so things that I did not discuss here in this video, but that they did change, let me know in the comments. We already have some things that we found, so I will do a video on it soon, and I will shout you out if you found something cool. First, the mastery level would not fail, even if you were close to getting a new mastery point. Now it does show it correctly. Maybe you know that there was a perk that first had a 600% affliction buildup with a posture attack. You could put this on weapons, on armor pieces, but 600% is not even possible, because 100% means that an affliction instantly triggers. And well, no surprise, the 600% did not actually work. Well, now after the update, Ubisoft removed 2 zeros, it's actually 6% build-up. So not really that great. The perk from the deluxe edition helmet that was also at the exchange recently, by the way, gives 33% health on a weak point attack. But first, putting that engraving on other helmets did not always work. So this should now be fixed, although if the weak point attack kills the enemy, you only get the health from Yasuke's mastery back and not from the perk of the helmet. So good to keep that in mind. I hope they maybe fix that too, because it makes the helmet way worse. This was kinda weird. Yasuke could first not call his mount while using a katana during combat. Only after putting it away, he was able to call the mount. But now you can call your mount again during combat with the katana. And also he would first, while holding the teppo, get knocked off and then hold the weapon to block. Very quickly then grab the melee weapon, but yeah, this is now also fixed with the update. And yes, I mentioned PS5 Pro Enhancements. The big one is that you can turn on the PSSR option in the video tab of the settings menu. This enables Sony's upscaling AI technology for better image quality. Now of course we have to wait for Digital Foundry and their comparisons, but so far it does seem like a nice improvement from what I was able to test. Like, I would totally turn it on for yourself. It should be on by default for people buying the game later on. They also made the 40 FPS balanced mode better, bring the ray tracing quality closer to that of the 30 FPS quality mode instead of the performance mode. I still prefer 60 FPS overall, but cool for if you do like this middle option. The patch notes, by the way, include this line, and more new and exciting things are coming soon, so stay tuned. Like, I'm totally expecting some actual new content for free this month as well. So subscribe to not miss any news regarding that. Again, got secret changes? Drop them in the comments down below. A like on the video would be helpful. You can find the patch notes in the video description. And check out my most recent video on the most overpowered items in the game. And I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.